Critterz NFT is a play-to-earn game on Minecraft. Can you believe it?
Let's go.
Guys, my name is Lord Richy, and every week I do a full in-depth review of a play-to-earn game on YouTube. A couple years ago, I think, the New York Times magazine released an article covering Minecraft. They titled it The Minecraft Generation. And in this article, they went in great length covering why Minecraft been such a huge phenomenon among kids around the world. This game has amassed a huge following, and we're going to be covering some of it during this stream since it kind of relates to the game that we're going to be covering today. So Minecraft has an active users of 140 million as of 2021. It's been growing pretty quickly, as you can see over here, from 40 million in 2016 all the way to 100 million in 2021. Why is Critterz NFT such a big deal? Well, they're taking advantage of the fact that Minecraft has a player base of 140 million players, and the dev team that is working on this game are all ex-Y Combinator. They all used to be in this very famous incubator, one of the most famous incubator in the world. Very smart guys behind this project. This game introduces new novel gaming mechanisms, and in that game you can actually generate a token called blocks, which you use in order to make money in the game and purchase assets such as plots. So what is Critterz? Before they released the game, they first released an NFT called Genesis Critterz. Critterz is the first fully on-chain NFT collection to enable play to earn while playing Minecraft. You can stake to generate blocks token in-game and use blocks token to claim plots of in-game lands as NFTs. The engineering team is solving a couple of challenges while bringing Critterz to life. Some of those challenges include custom Oracle network, gas saving mechanism, and wrenching mechanism. So you can follow them on Twitter at twitter.com/Critterz NFT. They have 21,000 followers on Twitter, and their Discord is growing pretty quickly right now at a 14,442 members. So Critterz NFT Genesis collection was launched on 28th December 2021, and since that launch, the all-time average price was 0.3784 Ethereum, and the all-time volume traded is 1,746 as of December 31, 2021. But this is actually old because the current stats for this game are much more impressive right now. If you look over here at the OpenSea page, Genesis Critterz floor price is now 1.85 Ether. The price has raised from a low of 0.3 Ethereum all the way to almost 2 Ethereum right now. There's been a huge growth just in a couple of months if you take into consideration that the game was just launched on the 28th of December 2021, and as of now, that price has completely skyrocketed. So it's not the first only play-to-earn game that is built on top of Minecraft. Actually, Microsoft is also working with Engine to bring NFTs to Minecraft. There's a game called Azure Space Mystery. It's a game that also implements some NFT concept in Minecraft. You also have My Meta MMO, also utilizing Minecraft in order to build their NFT world. And you also have Uplift World, which is also a play-to-earn game on Minecraft. But why is Critterz NFT so unique? One thing to consider is that, like I was saying earlier, it was built by a team that previously was at Y Combinator, so really smart guys. And these guys are getting a lot of praise on social media. For example, Will Caps shared on his Twitter, one guy that I just found on Twitter, not really familiar with who he is, he shared the public roadmap for the game, which is very detailed on what they plan to achieve, very transparent. You don't see a lot of play-to-earn game that have that level of transparency with what they're building. Usually you end up with a roadmap that just have one line, one title, that doesn't really cover in detail what they're able to achieve. There are some exceptions, such as Cypher, that has been really transparent about what they're going to build in detail. But in general, you only see a simple roadmap that just states what they're going to build in that game, but don't really dive into it too much in detail. He went on to say that he hates the chronic lack of transparency, asymmetry of information between dev and collectors, and that the market tends to run on hype and greed and does not reward technical innovation and or good business practices as much as it should. So Having taken some of their learning from Y Combinator, this team has implemented agile methodology to the development of this project. They're using sprints with an intermediate, short-term, and medium-term boards. This team been really good at delivering on their promises. Not only they mention what they're about to deliver, but also they've been really active in delivering on those promises. They also have regular updates with suggestions from the community as well. What is Genesis Critterz? A little bit more in detail. So it's the first fully on-chain NFT enabling play to earn on Minecraft. The Critterz NFT project is the first fully on-chain NFT on the Ethereum blockchain to enable play to earn on Minecraft. You can stake your Critterz to generate blocks in-game and use blocks to purchase plots in Minecraft. Features of ownership include fully on-chain NFTs that live on the Ethereum blockchain forever, stake to access an exclusive Minecraft world, generate blocks token by playing Minecraft, use blocks to claim plots of lands in Minecraft as ERC721 NFTs, trade plots on secondary markets to expand your territory, and rent out unused Critterz to other players to receive a share of their generated blocks. One thing to consider is that the fact that you can actually build an NFT in this game means that Critterz, in a sense, is an NFT building machine. There's currently 4,096 of the Genesis token, the one that you can use in order to play the game. Each Critterz NFT is stored fully on the blockchain. This means that instead of relying on third-party server like IPFS, your NFT are stored directly on the Ethereum blockchain. So the team is led by Emerson Sie and 2 other collaborators who all built startup funded by Y Combinator. The project was also inspired by Anomice, EtherOrc, and Furball, which we're going to see in a little bit. So this is one of the founder who was actually doxed, so he's now public. The other 2 are still anonymous. So he's the co-founder of Critterz NFT, was previously at UC Berkeley, Y Combinator Season 19, and he's also been very successful with a previous startup called Palifer, which is accurately determining and predicting component failure incident from predictive maintenance in heavy industry equipment. He was previously a research assistant at UC Berkeley, where he wrote a lot of documents related to his startup. It seems that he's still currently involved with his startups, but he's now also the co-founder of Critterz as of 4 months ago. And his background is in software development. We also have Bofi, one of the other co-founders, still anonymous. We don't know a lot about him. And we also have TaxCut, another co-founder that is still anonymous, which we don't know a lot about as well. But he seemed not to like taxes very much. So some of the inspiration from this game includes EtherRox. I don't know how to pronounce this one. It's another on-chain NFT game. You also have Furball, which is one of the inspiration. Furball is a collectible NFT game entirely on-chain. There are 88 billion plus possible Furball combination. And you also have Anonymize. You can adopt a Furball, kind of look like typical games such as Avegochi or Tamagotchi, where you kind of can adopt an animal and train it with different traits. And then finally, you have Anonymize, another on-chain generative NFT that is one of the inspiration for this game. With Critterz NFT, you use the Critterz NFT to play in-game and earn blocks. Earning are dependent on how many Critterz you have and time spent in the game. This Twitter user is also saying that they've seen that one Critterz earn about 250 blocks per 5 hours of play. 250 blocks per 5 hour, and once you get 1,200 blocks, you can buy plots, which are currently trading at 0.28 ETH. Alright, so to play the game, you're going to require some NFTs, and one of the NFT that you're going to be requiring in order to play is the Genesis Critterz. So your Critterz are stored fully on-chain on the Ethereum blockchain and are yours forever, and before joining the Critterz world, you'll have to stake the Critterz in order to use it. And once you stake your Critterz, you receive a stake Critterz, so S Critterz token, that you can then use in order to play the game or put it on secondary market like OpenSea for other people to rent it. So let's talk more about renting a stake Critterz. Stake Critterz are NFTs that other Genesis Critterz owner did not use for gaming, but instead put them on secondary markets for rentals. These stake Critterz are valid for up to 7 days. You can filter out Critterz by their lock date by using the filter on OpenSea or manually checking S Critterz metadata over here. And the last way that you can actually access the game is by getting your hand on some plots. Plot ownership is the easiest way to access the Critterz metaverse forever. You can think of plots kind of like lands. So if you earn a land in the game, then you have access to that game forever. I'm not sure if that is implying that maybe owning a Genesis character doesn't necessarily give you access to the land, but they made sure to emphasize that land ownership give anyone access to the game forever. So those plots are ERC 721 NFTs and are represented as a 64 by 64 blocks of in-game land. Everything you do in your piece of land is protected. Only you will be able to build or destroy blocks on your plot. You can control whether or not to turn on access to PvP as well. So player versus player. You can also access the rest of the creator's world and build on any unclaimed plots, but these will not be protected. Those are the different plots. They have this massive map, and if you guys are familiar with Minecraft, you are probably right at home and you probably understand kind of how to work with it. Very, very big map. Every 64 by 64 grid here represent a plot of land. There's even Heroes of Mavia over here already has like some plot of land. Maybe it's a player, maybe it's the team itself. In the sandbox, people were acquiring lands and building map and sponsoring their game or their brands. So I can see that happening in this game as well, considering how popular Minecraft is. Rental are for less active players to give other players a chance to play on the creator's world. Since in order to win money in this game, you need to dedicate a couple hours a day to play this game. If you don't have that time, you can still buy your creators if you have the means to afford it, because right now they're going for $5,000 or more. So you can rent out your creators to someone else, do a 2/3 profit share, and allow those renters to still play with your creators while you're earning all the benefits. When you stake a Critterz NFT, you receive S Critterz, which is the token that represents the staking of your Critterz on the Ethereum chain. And by default, S Critterz are used for Minecraft gameplay. And most S Critterz help generate blocks. When an S Critterz is rented out, it enters a 7-day staking time lock. And during the rental period, you get 1/3 of the blocks generated by the renter. But you cannot unstake your Critterz. So as long as there's a lock on that S Critterz, on your Critterz being rented out, you cannot get it back until the lock period ends, because those renters are buying your Critterz out of NFT. They're renting it out of OpenSea. So since they're renting your Critterz out of OpenSea, you cannot just claim it whenever you please. You have to wait for the lock period to end. If the renters sell their S Critterz to another player, which is called a sublease, the remaining time lock along with the profit sharing agreement is transferred. Even as a renter, you can still sell the S Critterz token, which represents the staking of the original owner, and just transfer it to someone else. So if, for example, if you rented it for 7 days, then only end up playing 2 days, now you can rent it out to someone else, who then get the chance to use it for the remaining days. So you can transfer your rental as a sublease. And I can see that being used in the future as the Genesis Critterz become more expensive and people want to get a chance to make some revenue by subleasing the S Critterz. Not very clear if that means that you actually can earn as well as the initial renter, because that would be a very interesting concept if the price of Genesis Critterz goes really high. You decide to rent it and make money on top from the rentals and make money on top from your sublease. When you transfer or sell an S Critterz, the S Critterz is automatically rented out to another player. And after the rental expires, you can unstake your Critterz or revoke access from the renter to get your S Critterz back. So we covered this one earlier. Let me see. So these are the Genesis Critterz that you can find. There's 3,900 items on the marketplace. Volume traded at 6,500. 1.85 is the floor price, and we got 188 owners. You can see the Genesis Critterz over here. Very pixelated, I will say. But they go for quite a lot, you know, $7,000. I'm not sure if there's a difference between the Critterz that you get, but one thing is sure is that there is Richy. And you can use RichiSniper.com in order to find out which one are the rarest Critterz that you can get. Maybe they may have some benefit in the future, but you can use the filter over here to filter the threat and then find out which one is the rarest NFT. You also have the Critterz tracker at CritterzTracker.com that will allow you to find additional information about your Critterz on chain just by entering either your ENS address or your wallet address for MetaMask or else. And you can get additional information about your Critterz, such as statistic and more. And this was brought to you by Nabs.if. Thank you, Nabs. So it's time to cover tokenomics, and I want to talk a little bit more about Blocks, which is the utility token of the game. So Blocks is an ERC20 token generated and used in the Critterz world. These tokens are generated with an in-game activity with stake Critterz. You can only earn in this game if you stake your Critterz. Once you buy it on OpenSea, you have to stake it. And once it is staked, then you can use those Critterz in order to earn blocks. To achieve this, they had to build a custom oracle to compute blocks generated based on playtime and bridge into the Ethereum blockchain without incurring high gas fee for the player. They've introduced a very unique, innovative mechanism here in order to achieve the mechanism of blocks, which is generated literally as you're playing the game. They're creating new ERC20 token as you're playing every time you're staking your token. So how do you accumulate blocks? So players who own Genesis Critterz or rented stake Critterz can generate blocks by playing the game. Again, blocks is a precious ERC20 token that only has utility in-game and cannot be traded for currency or value in real life. Currently, blocks are tracked by playtime in-game, and they have a more detailed explanation over here. So the primary use of blocks is to claim limited plot of lands. So as you're playing the game and you're collecting your blocks, you want to use those blocks in order to buy land. But this is not the only way that you can buy land. Maybe I should call it plots, because after all, that's all they call it. So once you have your blocks, you can buy a bunch of plots by using the block that you've generated, or if you have the means to directly buy those plots in the marketplace, then you can do so. You can also buy blocks on the decentralized exchange and exchange your own token in order to own blocks and buy those plot of land in-game. So those are the different mechanisms that you can utilize in order to get your plot of land. In the very near future, block will be also used to trade in-game items in the Critterz economy, such as events, used as wagers, and access to specific in-game actions. There are some more utility for the blocks token, such as claiming unclaimed plots, used as a medium of exchange. They mentioned participating in events and all the future use that they're considering for the game, such as in-game cosmetic, potentially pets, customization. You can already customize your plots, so maybe they might use your blocks in order to allow for additional customization, and mint a physical block with blocks. At the current rate for blocks, $1, it's easy to see the income potential with Critterz NFT. If the price hold, one stake Critterz can earn you $45,000 a year for playing 1 hour a day, $92,000 if you play 42 hours a week, 8 hours a day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 1 hour a day, Saturday plus Sunday. This is pretty old actually, this date from January 2nd. Since then, the price has gone a little bit down, but you can see here, based on how many Critterz you have on the left, how many blocks you can generate, and based on hours. And as you can see, if you play, let's say 4 hours a day, you can generate 224 block. And we're going to assume that this is at the current price of $0.15. So if you assume 200 times 0.15, that gets us $30. So $30 for playing for about 4 hours a day. So that's how much you can generate with this game. As you can see, if you play 10 hours a day, so we're getting 340 times 0.15, which is the current price. And we're getting $51 per day for playing 10 hours of this game per day. And that goes a little bit up as you add more Critterz, but they've added a limit so that people or guilds that try to have too many Critterz cannot earn as much. So technically, if you have too many Critterz, then your renters cannot earn as much with the game. So it's recommended to have up to 4 Critterz per address so that your renters can still earn a lot in the game. Because as you have more Critterz, the type of earning that you're getting from the game are reduced. But as you can see here, someone that has like 7 Critterz in this game is earning 1,005 blocks over 10 hours, which is $150 every 10 hours. So block generation. Blocks is generated with in-game activity and grows as a function of time spent. This is the formula that shows you how block generation is generated. This is the equation. 24 per day times the stake Critterz and the square root of our play times stake Critterz times 100. While owning multiple stake Critterz generate more blocks, token per minute play, the multipliers scale as a square root of stake Critterz. This helps level the playing field between players no matter the number of stake Critterz owned. This is what I was just covering earlier. So as you get more Critterz, since it's doing a square root, it helps level that playing field. And we also have the formula for renting Critterz over here and more. So if you guys are like into math, feel free to go over here and take a glance. So plots are ERC721 NFTs that are a central part of the Critterz ecosystem. Plots are 64 by 64 blocks of in-game land that stretches from bedrock to the sky limit. Plot ownership means that you are permanently the owner of that part in the Critterz metaverse. And here are some of the features that the plot ownership can give you. So permanent access to the Critterz metaverse, raid protection from hostile players, building protection from other player, resource rights, plot rental to other player, block generation from player visits very soon, passive block generation from staking very soon as well, and burn plot for a special surprise. So I'm thinking like a burning mechanism such as some burning that we've seen in the like of Axie Infinity and Pegasi, I'm guessing. The reason why I got my plot is because of this right here. So I think that considering that the price of Critterz is really high right now, $5,000, and that you're getting blocks in order to get land, it makes a lot of sense to me that the future of this game is the land game. Kind of like in Axie Infinity where everyone is investing on Axies, but every single strategy that Axie Infinity been centered around the land. So I think that the lands in this game, which is currently sitting at 0.13 ETH, is very underestimated. As you can see over here, they have planned to allow landowner to generate blocks just from people coming on your land, just from visiting land. You're going to be able to generate blocks, and also you'll be able to generate passive income from staking your land as well. I've been seeing some tweets of various guilds buying over 40 plots of lands or more in order to plan for the future of this game. There's even one guy that bought over 100 plots of lands in this game. And I think this is a really smart move considering that this game is very much going to be centering around land, since once you're utilizing your blocks and when you're building those beautiful maps, at the end of the day, you're doing that on a plot of land. So I think that plots right now are very much underestimated. A lot of people are buying the Critterz because they want to get access to the game. But the future might lie on the lands. That's my guess on this game right now. So Critterz plot are the first ever generative NFTs that dynamically update based entirely on user activity. So all plot are one-to-one, completely unique, completely custom. This is one of the NFT where you can see the land plot grows. You can see at the bottom all the layers that's been occurring over this land and then the current plot of land right now. And if you buy your plot of land on the secondary market, you're essentially buying a plot of land that someone else has designed. This is what I did today when I bought my plot of land. So this is something that someone already owned, already worked on it, already designed. I think on the marketplace, you're gonna have to buy some of those blocks in order to produce the different colors. So buying the plot of lands also give you access to all that right away. Plots are purchased with blocks. There is a total of 22,500 plot of lands. This is a limit. And for the Genesis Critterz collection, so for the entire Genesis Critterz collection, there's only 22,500 plot of lands. And if you remember what we talked about a little bit earlier, there are 141 million Minecraft players. And a lot of these guys, even if you think 10% of these guys, are going to be considering playing Minecraft and earning money in the game. I was reading a tweet the other day where someone was saying that letting his little nephew play the game, he's always been playing Minecraft anyway, so he's playing the game and making money in the game while playing for fun. So if a lot of those Minecraft users turn to this game, they're going to be generating a lot of money in this game. And there's a lot of things to see in the coming days. And then I can see the price going up because this is a limited number of plot of land and has more players join the ecosystem. We can see the demand going up. You can purchase plot of land also on OpenSea, like I was saying, on the secondary market. Note that their plot have to be unstaked for you to be able to play on them. If the plot you want to expand to doesn't have an active listing, you can always place an offer on the plot. So just want to clarify this part a little bit. You can essentially buy a plot of land that is unstaked, so a full-on plot of lands, or you can buy a staked plot of land, which means that you're renting that plot of land. Just like the S Critterz, if it's an S Critter and it's staked, that means that you're renting that items. Similarly, if a plot is staked, that means that you're renting the item. So you want to make sure that whichever plot you decide to own is unstaked. You can find details about either the liquidity pool of the token or the price of the token on dextool.io. You can see that it's listed over here. So it's currently at $0.15. In the past couple of weeks, the price been going down. You can see that the all-time high was at $1. It's been going down since, but it's been stabilizing around 0.15 cents. It's already been close to 2 months actually, and the price been pretty stable around 0.13, 0.15, and it recently just went a little bit up over here. So looks like the price is now a little bit stable. We can assume that at the beginning over here, those were probably due to the hype of the launch of the game, but it's now currently stable around those lines right here. So on OpenSea, you can find your plot of land. So 17 22,000 items currently listed on the secondary market. Remember, there's only 22,000. The remaining plot of land that you can get are probably in the game. There's 1,500 owners, current volume traded 1,300. You got the floor price sitting at 0.113 ETH. You can visualize your plot of land. These are some of the work. If you guys are familiar to Minecraft, then you're probably familiar to how it looks. You can see that some people are building some very creative bears, CryptoPunk, really cool castles, and all of that is available on the browser. So you can view that directly from your browser or in the game. You can also customize your plot. They've shared some comments over here that you can use in order to do that. There's also have an accessible list of comments that you can use. I'm now going to cover the gameplay of this game. The primary game mode in the main Critterz world is survival mode, with the difficulty set to hard. And when you enter the world, you will appear at the main spawn after typing warp spawn, one of the commands that you can run in that game. You can start gathering resources and surviving on the first unclaimed plot you see. So what is survival mode? So I looked into it a little bit earlier, and survival mode in Minecraft is where the player must collect resources, build structure, while surviving in their generated world. So you can interact with the local villagers and at night defend against mobs that attack on site. Unlike in creative mode, you must work for everything and there are no unlimited blocks. Survival mode is where there is zombies, so you can die. Lose your tools, rare items, your loot in-game, but you cannot lose your blocks. Essentially, there's enemy, then there's people attacking you while you're trying to build your structure and you're trying to survive while achieving that. Here are the quick step-by-steps in order to play the game. So first, you're going to need to download Minecraft 1.8 in Java or the Bedrock edition. You're going to need to buy or rent Genesis Critterz or a platform OpenSea to gain access. You're going to need to stake and connect to MC Critterz at XYZ, which is one of the server. And you're going to need to verify in-game to connect your wallet to Minecraft and start earning blocks. I look into it a little bit more today, and there are different ways to play the game. It's currently available on PC, Xbox One, PS4, Switch if you're using Bedrock, and on the Pocket Edition on Android and iOS, on Minecraft VR on the Fire and Oculus. So you can play this game pretty much everywhere. So don't worry, if you want to play this game, it is accessible almost everywhere. One thing that I did notice is that in order to play the game, you may need to buy a Minecraft pass, which is currently going to cost you $35 US. You also get access to the game for $1 for the first month, but then you're going to be paying $35 to get access to the full game, I'm guessing. And I don't think that this is a monthly cost. I think this is just a one-time fee that you have to pay to Microsoft in order to play the game. And if you play the Java edition, then you'll be able to play it on Windows, Linux, and Mac. Or you can play the Minecraft edition for Windows 10 over here. And then there's a quick chart below of all the advantages that you have based on the platform where you're playing the game. What do you get access to? It shows you the available platform and all the items that you have access on those given platform over here. Now I'm going to walk you guys quickly through the gameplay. So I'm currently on Critterz.xyz. This is my dashboard. You can see that I have my unstaked Critterz over here, the stake Critterz over there. I currently don't own any. I also have my lease Critterz, don't own any as well. So if I were to rent one from people, you will all be showing over there. Then it shows my plot. When I bought my plot, it was initially showing on the unstaked plot. And now that I've staked it, I think I might have to refresh, because in this game on every transaction, you have to refresh in order to see things appearing. You can see that I have my plot over there. You have lease plot and rented plot, and I haven't actually even joined the game yet because I haven't downloaded Minecraft, but once I join the game, I should be able to connect my wallet and see how it looks inside the game. But it'd be interesting for me to take a look at my plot in the in-game map, but I can head over to OpenSea and see my plot. You can see this is a plot that I purchased today. So you also have the blocks bank. This one is essentially used to add your token inside the game in the in-game wallet, or to withdraw it. For example, whenever you earn blocks and you want to withdraw them to your Ethereum wallet, this is where you'll be able to do that. You have the map. I still don't know how to use this, but I'll figure it out and leave it in the comments. The in-game marketplace, where you can trade for items using in-game blocks. You get your market listing. So those are the different items that you see on the map. Here, you're going to need to use your block in order to buy those items and use them in-game. You also have the activity tab that shows you the latest item that people purchased a couple minutes ago, or the one that they traded, because you can go in the marketplace and trade items that you need. Your own listing and your transactions. I haven't done any, so it's completely empty at this point. Finally, just have the little home where you can connect your wallet. So very, very simple user interface, not very complicated. This is what you'll be seeing when you land on the landing page. This is the introduction to the ecosystem. It's a player-driven economy. Like I said earlier, you can trade items between players, use your blocks, and build some incredible words. And if you click play, it sends you right away here to the guide. There's a getting started guide. There's a white paper on the landing page, full documentation, which I covered throughout this video, the roadmap, which we saw earlier, all the contracts, and the project disclaimer. So talking about the project disclaimer, one thing that I kept asking to myself was, what would happen if Microsoft or Minecraft were to send a cease and desist letter to Genesis creators? Are they infringing on the patent of the game? And if you go over to the project disclaimer, they explain that in detail, and they say that the game does not fall within the bound of the Microsoft EULA and commercial terms as transformative fair use. So they've went to a short length here explaining the different affiliation. So they made sure to say that they are an independent engineering team affiliated with Minecraft, Mojang, the creator of Minecraft, or Microsoft, the owner of Minecraft. And so over there, if you're worried about any of those liabilities, you can come over here and look into it. And because I think this is one of the major concerns when you're investing in something like that, is whether or not that game can get completely shut down or sued by Minecraft or people to make money from playing on Minecraft. And well, if you are really serious about it, you can even dive more into it by reading the Minecraft user terms and how people could use the game. They say, do not redistribute our game or any alteration of our game or game file. You may develop tools, plugins, and services as long as they do not seem official or approved by us, such as by using our logo, or do not make commercial use of anything we've made without our permission. So that's a little writing here that I'm a little bit worried about, because even though crypto is not globally accepted yet, I think that it's fair to argue that what Critterz NFT is doing is a commercial use of the product, because they're allowing people to use NFT in-game. I think this is something that's going to be very tough to define. I'm not sure if that's how commercial use is described. Profiting from someone's game, is that commercial use? And if that's the case, so that means they might be infringing on the commercial use of this game if they did not get the permission of Minecraft to do so. I would personally have more confidence if they receive a letter from Minecraft saying that they are doing a total fair use for the foreseeable future, and this way I'll feel more confident investing a little bit more into the game, because considering that the price to entry is $5,000, the biggest risk that you're incurring here is that the game could get a cease and desist letter that will make all your NFT pretty much irrelevant, and you won't be able to use those NFT in order to play the game. So, and then that game could be short-lived. So I think I will need to see the guarantee that all those games being built on top of Minecraft actually are able to do so without infringing on this agreement. If you click on the white paper, they cover some of the detail that I cover during this stream in detail. Go a little bit more talking about staking, how the staking mechanism works. We covered some of the main concept for staking, since you need to stake in order to earn blocks and play the game. They also show the token generation for blocks. You can see that the curve over time decreases as you're playing longer. So yes, you're making some money in the beginning, but if you play too long, it's suddenly start decreasing the overall earning that you can have in the game over time. And then that's all due to the square root of this formula, like hour play times stake Critterz, because they want to make sure that over time, if people play too long, let's say someone play 1,000 hours this game and has like 1,000 Critterz, they want to make sure that overall that it's fair play for everyone else. And so they use a formula of the square root in order to adjust that curve over time, so it's fair for everyone else that play the game. We went through the roadmap already, but we didn't go into detail about what's coming on the immediate short term and long term. We can just do a quick overview over here. As you can see, in the medium term, they plan to have custom marketplace for rentals, expanding into more Minecraft-centric communities, community-based in-game event or competition. I'm excited about the expanding into more Minecraft-centric communities, because this is going to bring more of the 140 million players into this ecosystem, which I think is really exciting, because Since this game has already been really popular from people playing for free, just imagine how many people will be excited to play this game and actually earn money. And they're doing exactly what they've been doing, except this time they're actually making money while doing the same thing. So this is really exciting that they're doing that. I'm expecting to see the price of Critterz going up when that happens, because there's a limited supply of those items, right? So 140 million players out there, 22,000 plots. Right now there's about 4,000 Genesis token and 140,000 Minecraft players. So I can expect to see that token going even more up, if you ask me. What we might be seeing right now is a discount on the price of that NFT. Also, they're going to be showing blocks balance while playing in-game. So it's going to be live instead of showing that on the dashboard. Visualizing plots in the browser without needing to use Minecraft. Ability to charge blocks for access to plots, so rentals. So you can rent out your plots to multiple players in exchange for accessing it similarly to mechanism as Critterz rental. You'll be able to rent your plot. So for example, the plot that I have right now, I'll be able to rent it to someone in exchange for blocks. So since I cannot afford to buy a Critterz, right now, the best strategy that I can do is buying plots. And similarly, this is what I would recommend to do. Since right now, blocks, owning a Critterz is really expensive. Best strategy right now is to buy as many plots as you can so that you can earn enough money in order to buy a Critterz. And so by doing that, you'll be planning for what's coming up with the plots rentals. Block generation based on other players visiting your plots. So every time someone visits your plot, so if a plot is in high traffic areas, or with cool attraction, they will be rewarded with blocks as well. If you are buying a plot, make sure that you buy something very interesting, or that the person renting your plot is doing something really cool that attract people to visit your plot. Incentivizing road building on plots. So tolls with blocks will be similar to implementing blocks gen based on player traffic on your plot. So I'm not sure what this one is about. Meta game within the Critterz words. So I'm thinking more something like the sandbox, allowing people to create games inside those different universe and other friends. Interoperability in a indispensable part of Web3. So maybe collaboration with other games of the like or of the sort. Upgrading the server to support 1,000 plus concurrent players. So probably is one of the biggest issues that they're facing right now, because this is an immediate requirement that they want to tackle. So the game is growing really quickly and they need to support more players. Updating block generation to be activity based. Greatly reduce the need for moderation and exploit. Block generation will be based on specific in-game activities instead of time logged in. Very interesting, because if they're switching from time spent in the game versus what you're actually doing in the game, this is going to change the game economic. This is one of the short-term immediate goal right here. Allowing plot parameter mass editing for all plots that you own. So add member permission, block placing, breaking permission, etc. to all of the plot that you own in one comment. So I'm not sure what this one is about. Revamp rental ecosystem, help balance the incentive between renters and owners so that one party doesn't get a disproportionate amount of the upside. Interesting. In-game marketplace enhancements, listing cancellation, block burning for in-game blocks, top-up and decimal support. There's a list of accessible comment over here. Then you get the Critterz contract links available on their website if you guys want to verify the contract before either like executing a transaction or buying one of the NFTs, so you can use that. And finally, I think we've covered everything, guys. Having said that, I think we covered pretty much every single thing in this game. That was Critterz. If you guys want to play some Minecraft and make some money, this is the game to play. And obviously no investment advice, but I'm personally invested into Critterz, full disclaimer. I have a plot. My goal is to own a Critterz Genesis, hopefully. So I'm going to keep an eye on what they're doing with their term of services related to Minecraft. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. See you guys on the next one. Peace.